You wanted to have a part where you pull everyone into like I guess a little private meeting.
Yeah, like Simone's basement.
The bracelets work so that you can have your privacy. Your ELO counterparts will likely want to have their own huddle anyway, so they don't seem to mind if you want to all shuffle down, hide in your basement, and talk about whatever.
Yeah, Marisol's gonna shuffle her teammates down.
Simone will open up the door and disable the locks and everything.
Simone, you get a big hug.
As she hugs you right back.
How was
Nia.
your training?
Hey, nice hair.
Interesting.
It's curly.
Thank you.
Yeah, hey, we won't be long. And she closes the door behind them. Jim's with us, right?
Yes.
Hey, Simone.
How's everything gone so far?
Jet boots.
Jet boots?
Yeah, look at my
Jet
jet boots. She like puts her foot up. It is in fact a jet boot, and it is in fact signed by Jeff Lynne.
Oh, wow. This is probably worth something.
I know, but they're fun. No one can have them.
That's fair.
What about you, Jim? How's Kevon been like?
Oh, his home life is about as ridiculous as we've known him. So okay, I guess.
Does he yell at Alkesha a lot?
He yells at his neighbors a lot.
Oh dear, that has to be hell.
Apparently, he's bullied one into being a cow.
What?
What?
That sounds sick.
Care to explain?
He makes them mow the grass with their mouth.
That's terrible.
Oh.
There's silica in grass.
You may have to talk to him, but then again, that's Kev, so I don't know if you can.
Yeah, it's Kev.
Marisol's wincing. Well, he's a scary man. We all know this.
Scary, yes, but this is still kind of a little much for even him. I'm not about to bring this up to him, to his face.
Well, what about you, Simone?
Lord Cambria's been pretty interesting. So far, he's really eccentric, but I'm kind of grown to like him. He's a pretty simple, if awkward man sometimes, but he has a really big love of life, so it's just fun to be around him.
Well, that sounds like fun.
Is he still in the city?
He's in Clash City. That's where he's mostly been.
You've been fighting people in Clash City?
Yeah, what's it like?
Well, it's difficult to say. Clash City is a lot like here, if here was a lot more violent. Openly so. A lot of people just want to just fight you in the street.
Whoa. What's the bar scene like?
Again, a lot of people just want to fight. But drinks are pretty good.
I wonder if I have time while on the moon to go be a bartender there for a while. You know, push myself a little bit.
I mean, it's possible. You will have to deal with a lot of bar brawls.
Miss B probably won't let me though.
A lot more than you're used to.
Ask her if she has a second location.
Oh, I could help her. We do need to expand. Yeah. Anyway, that aside, I did want to bring us down here to sort of touch base on, hey Nia, honestly, you've been with him sort of like long enough now. What do you think about Jeff?
Oh, she rubs her head. That's complicated.
Well, you've gotten to know him in a short amount of time, kind of in a concentrated way, right? You would know him in a way a lot of people wouldn't be able to get. Go ahead.
I think he hides a lot of himself from us, but it has been a little weird. But like, he listens to me, so that's good. But I am scared of like, if he ever decides to, I don't know. He has a dark side, I guess. I'm not supposed to talk about it.
Dark side?
Did he ever tell you what it involved?
Well, he's kind of told you guys that his disappearing powers appeared in the war. So I can tell you that much. And he's trying to teach me how to fight. So that involves that.
Yeah. Well, you have a sort of insight that we're not going to be able to get. You probably should talk to us about his dark side.
No, if it involves disappearing, I've probably seen it before, so.
Well, there's this black spirit.
Yep.
And it appears when I get angry sometimes.
Really?
It like hovers over the person I don't like. And then I feel like I can't. It's really overwhelming.
I see. So that's how it works? You, like, it hovers near someone, and then, like, what? You just point a gun at them or something?
It more feels like all I have to do is say yes.
Ah.
So, what do you think, Nia? Do you think that he's given into that many times?
I can't tell. He acts friendly to me, but he also makes really dark jokes. So I can't tell if it's just a sense of humor or if he really would revenge.
Really would revenge what?
Oh, well, we got to talking about Jodeshi, and Jodeshi doesn't exist, so I guess he can't revenge him, but,
Why would he want revenge on Jodeci? He doesn't even know who that is.
well, it was indicated that he beat him up in an alternate dimension.
Well, yeah, we told them that. Killed, more like it.
So, revenge. I went gentle on the killed part.
Revenge for an alternate version of him being beaten up.
Yes, but I can't tell if it's a joke or not. That's the problem. She starts shaking Simone. I can't tell if he's joking.
Ah!
It's okay. Revenge makes sense.
Doesn't make it right, but it does make sense.
It's fine. Alright, guys. I'm
Yeah.
gonna speak from my gut a little bit here, or I don't know, maybe it's my heart. So most of my life I sort of fantasized about burning down a lot of what the moon had, you know? It felt so out of reach and powerful, disdainful, selfish and unfair. Like it squandered the best of humanity and left the rest of us to die back on the earth. So it was a real power fantasy of mine to want to steal and destroy things from its highest elite. And if I hadn't gotten tangled up with you guys, I think I would have thrown everything I had into Passion Reform. Because, you know, it undermines the moon's otherwise pretty system. And I'd want to grow with that. But, you know, I think I've picked up a lot more angles to consider. A lot more. My past self would probably be calling me a sellout right now, but I really think that, you know, maybe there's not such a bad way to go here. With what Lewis figured out about the whole closed loop thing, we obviously have more than one reason to go for the throne, right? It's for the sake of our existence.
Indeed.
Well, I think we should this is really weird. I think we should sponsor Jeff after all. Like, his claim for it. I know
Is
he's
that
Why?
Lewis? Does Lewis think he'd be a good god?
I haven't asked him. Okay, so you know how he's egotistical and corporate? I get all that, but I feel like, you know, when Jason said not to trust any of them, that they're all corrupt, he seemed to say that in good faith, but I don't really see a horrendous, out-of-tilt personality in any of them. At least not on the scale I've seen coming out of people I've known on Earth. Maybe not known personally, but people that hold power. You can look at the Seven Nation Army delegates as an example of that. Those guys do have malicious intent in them. These guys, I don't know. I just don't seem to feel like, for example, Kev Kavan. That guy, unstoppable force, but these days, he seems like he's feeling a little out of his depths, might even be feeling a little burnout. He's been involved with us ever since the shuttle incident, probably been held accountable for us even. I feel a little sorry for him because he can't exactly cut out, you know? Rich seems like a mess, from what little I know about him. You two can probably vouch for how human he is, though, right? You guys already know how I feel about Lewis. But, yeah, Jeff, I think he should get more credit for the level of control he seems to have over himself. That's kind of what I was trying to fish out of you, Nia. For someone with a power like that, and that's held it for so long, let alone what sort of normal power he has in, you know, ruling over the moon and all, I feel like he's capable of listening to others and having mercy. I'm sure the height of his priority list, his image, comes first, but that's also probably tied to a level of pressure I can't understand. So I don't see a monster in him. So, of the people going for the throne, maybe he's not the strongest on an individual level, but with our support and his team's support, we might have a pretty good chance of filling what is going to get filled one way or the other.
Nia shifts her foot to foot. Well, he did try to get me to kill my mother, but he did save Tyson.
I will say, I mean, of course, I do not have the highest opinion of Jeff, so I'll reserve judgment entirely for the moment. I'm not sure who should sit in the throne, but whoever it is, we'll figure it out as we go.
Well, he's already most likely eyeing it now. Are you saying we should backstab him?
No, I'm just saying I wouldn't really trust him with the throne myself. Maybe not backstab him, though.
Yeah, me neither, I don't think.
What about you, Nia?
I don't know. I think his time at war has made him very unmerciful, but I don't think we should get in his way. What I'm saying is we should probably back him up until we know more. But he listens to us. If we beg enough, he does listen. The only problem is that I think he likes to isolate himself. So, I mean, if we can keep people around him to keep him in his better nature, but I don't know what happens to you when you sit on the throne. Kimber has 3 of, do we want 3 Jeff Lynns?
We don't know that Kimber has sat on the throne.
Oh, that's true. But she's goddess right now, so he would be the equivalent. I'm not even sure it's a good deal. Honestly, I don't know if anyone should have that much power.
I guess what I'm trying to say is, if we can't destroy that throne, and maybe we shouldn't destroy it because we're not sure what that'll do, we have to pick the devil we know over the worst devils, right?
Nia does nod to that. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it is true the devil you know versus the devil you don't, but I still am with Jim in that I really don't trust Jeff on the throne. Like, I trust Jeff in his current position, ELO, but anyone with that kind of power is a roll of the dice, no matter who it is.
Look at how nice the moon basically runs. This is pretty much a paradise compared to the Earth, guys. I can't stress that enough.
Paradise at the cost of individual freedom. Well, not but at the cost of possibly angering someone who can disappear you in a moment's notice. You know how he disappeared me. And then we heard about how he disappeared Gazzy's dad. Do we know how many people he's done this to? Do we even know if he's done this to innocent people or if it's all been people he's just not liked?
Man, you guys are really naive. I would probably consider disappearing a couple people myself, but
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
in that position, you know?
That's a pleasant thought.
Yeah, I'm just gonna throw it out there. If it's for the greater good, I'd probably do it.
And that's the problem. The greater good is a nebulous idea, it's subjective to everybody. I mean, it could be for the greater good, but in the end result, you also hurt their family and anyone else they were close to by just completely snapping your fingers and going goodbye for what? For some idea of peace or order. You will get that, but at the cost of so many corpses that you're not really a god so much as a devil.
Yeah, you're talking to someone from Earth, and that must be nice. Must be very comfortable for you to say that. I would rather have peace and order at the cost of a couple. Better than losing a lot of people and not even getting peace and order. Hey, look, I know he disappeared you, but you didn't die. So I stay with my whole thought that he shows mercy. I don't know how his stand works, but you seem pretty alive to me right now. As for that whole, Gazzy thing, wasn't that during wartime? We don't know the details to that, so that's what I think.
I will disagree completely with this assessment. We're definitely not gonna agree on Jeff anytime soon, but we'll see when it comes to it what we can do about this throne.
So you guys are saying we don't have enough information to really make a call. That's fair. But I like to have any plan at all than no plan, Especially because we can't talk freely out in the open amongst ourselves all the time.
Well, I do want to get close to the ELO people because they seem cool. So why don't we just continue being friends and then we can maybe see beyond the jokes eventually?
All right.
I have a backup plan. My goddess seemed to indicate that someone could sit on the throne as a regent, and she seems to think I could do that. So could always put me on there as sort of nobody gets the throne sort of thing without having to destroy it.
Doesn't that mean we have to go through another time loop?
I don't
Maybe
know.
not. I mean, we've discussed this closed system, and we know that in closed systems there's always kind of a simple loop that goes around and you kind of predict it. And we're in that right now. But if an unknown variable, say Jim or whoever is put on the throne instead of how it is now, do we know if that remains the closed system of a loop or if that breaks the loop itself? That's
Well,
the
if
question.
the moon goddess wants it, wouldn't it mean that Kimber wants it? Which wouldn't it mean she'd want to stay as a goddess? So she'd want the regent to be on the throne?
That is a concern, but
Marisol's studying Jim and what he said about sitting on the throne. And she's thinking about what Miss B told her to keep an eye on him. Yeah, we probably need more info. You guys are probably right.
Yeah, I would say we need a lot more info right now. We're barely even trying to deal with these starmen.